SSH is a secured way of logging into remote computers. It enables us to execute commands and perform other activities on our remote machines without having physical contact with them. As a developer or DevOps engineer, you will have to connect to remote machines most of the time through SSH. In this episode, we are going to set up our virtual machines for SSH connections. We will connect to them using PATI and regular command line terminals. PATI is an SSH client for Windows operating system, though there are many SSH clients for Windows. I use PATI most of the time, but feel free to use anyone. It is more convenient using PATI terminals than using the native terminals that come with our Linux machines. Let's start by installing PATI if you haven't done so already. Go to pati.org. Click here to download. Choose 64-bit installer.msi. Then a PATI executable file will be downloaded for you. Click on the file to start the Windows installation wizard. Click Next. I would leave the default destination folder and click Next. Leave the default product features and click Install. I would uncheck the View README file, then click Finish. Open the PATI app. Here you have the PATI configuration panel. To connect to these machines, we need to have both of them turned on. I will open my VirtualBox Manager. I will select Jane's desktop, then click Start to turn it on. I will start the app server as well and log into it as John. I will use this command to confirm the IP address of this machine. IP space A. We have 3 IP addresses. There is 127.0.0.1 and that is the default localhost IP address. Every computer has that. There is 10.0.2.15. This is the IP address on the adapter 1. Remember the NAT adapter that we enabled for this server, and it is assigned by my home internet router. This server will connect to the internet through this IP address. And lastly, there is 192.168.56.101. This is the IP address on the adapter 2, the host only adapter. It is coming from the host, which is my physical local computer, and it is allocated through Oracle VirtualBox DHCP server. This is the IP address that the machine within this local network will use to communicate with this machine. So to SSH into this machine, I am going to be using this IP address. So you might want to learn more about networking and IP addressing, which is far beyond the scope of this course. What I want to do now is to SSH into this server through PATI first and later through command prompt. So I will open PATI. I will type John at 192.168.56.101 in this box. I will leave the port as 22, which is the default SSH port. I will save the session as John at app server. Feel free to name the session anything. This is so that I won't have to keep typing host names or IP addresses every time to connect. Click Save to save the session. Then click Open to connect. Click Yes. Type the password for John and press Enter. Now I am connected to the app server using PATI as an SSH client. Let's do the same to Jane's desktop. We need to confirm the IP address of this machine. So I will open Jane's desktop, click the applications menu icon at the bottom left, click terminal to open the native command line terminal. Type IP space A and press the enter key. So I will connect using this IP address 192.168.56.102. I will open the party configuration panel again. I want to log in as Jane, so here I will type Jane at 192.168.56.102. I will save the session, then click open. And here we have an error, connection refused. This is because we need to have OpenSSH server installed on any machine before we can SSH into them. We did not have this problem connecting to the app server just because we chose to install the OpenSSH server during the installation of the OS. Let's install the OpenSSH server on Jane's desktop. Sudo apt install OpenSSH-server. Type the password for Jane and press enter. Type Y and press enter. SSH server is installed. Let's go back to party and attempt the connection again. Select the session and click open. Click yes. Type the user's password and press the enter key, and you are successfully logged in. Type exit and press the enter key to quit the connection. Next, I would like to connect to the app server from the Windows command prompt. I will open the command prompt. Type SSH John at the IP address of the app server and press enter. Type yes and press enter. Type the user's password and press enter. And the connection is successful. This is the same step you will take to log in using any other command line terminal. I will type exit and press enter to close the connection. And that is it for this episode. I will see you in the next one.